Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our educational training series that we're starting here. We're so excited today because we are going to be discussing a topic that is very important to all of us. It's important to the puppies so that they get matched to the right families. It's important to us because it helps us match our puppies and know more about their personality so that we can discuss the family and the needs of the family and make sure that our puppies are a good fit. So today, the topic, temperament testing. Number one, what is the importance? Carol is the one that does the temperament test. So she is joining me here with Lemon Pink and Presley Green. She's done all the temperament tests on the puppies. She typically does them at 7 weeks old. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about what it is and why. So when I say temperament test, I mean, there are some people out there that might wonder, okay, I mean, I know what temperament means, but what is a temperament test?
So when we do a temperament assessment or a temperament test, what we're doing is we are evaluating the traits in the puppy to assess the appropriateness to whatever home that they may go to. It helps us with the matching and selection process. It also helps us too with determining appropriateness for breeding, like if we're planning on keeping puppies for our program. There are certain temperament traits that are inherited. There are other temperament traits that we really don't enjoy seeing. Thankfully, we've bred most of those out of our program. What's great though too is it really helps us to figure out great fits, because over the years and years and doing puppies and being here, it's very rare that someone will call us back with an issue with a puppy because it grew a certain way or because it looks a certain way. But it is a thing that if the temperament's not right and the fit is not right in the household, that's where we end up with talk and phone calls of someone maybe not satisfied with the placement. And so when we say temperament rules, that's why we say temperament rules.
Now, when do you do the temperament test?
So temperament assessments and temperament tests are done at 49 days, as close to 49 days as possible.
Right.
And the reason is puppies are born virtually helpless. And so when they're born at around 63 days gestation, they're born with their eyes closed, their ears closed. They basically respond to smell and touch, and that's kind of it. So when they're born, their brains are still developing and still growing. They're not done cooking prior to being born.
So they come out and they still got some work.
Yeah, still so the guy has some cooking to do.
Yes.
So after being out, their brain is still developing. You still have different processes going on, different nerves that are kind of wiring to figure out what's going on and what's happening. And right around 49 days of age is when, okay, brain development's complete. We are where we are. So from here, we can assess a starting point of temperament. Everything from there is learning and training. And so we work really hard with our puppies in our nursery areas and in the areas prior to temperament assessments to make sure that they get lots of handling and lots of interaction. They get to see different depths, different heights, different distances. They get exposed to lots and lots of things. So while their brain is developing, they learn noises are normal, moving through space is normal. And so at temperament assessments, we're able to see at that final, like after brain development is done and when brain waves are very similar to what they'll be at adults, we're able to see what that starting point is. Now we say it's a starting point.
Yeah. It's not a fail-proof system either. I mean, it's not like a guarantee this is your puppy's personality, because puppies' temperaments develop over time, but it does give us insight in their personalities at that stage of life, correct?
Yes. So, and when we say so at that point in time, the assessment is what it is. We're seeing what we're seeing.
Right.
But your puppy is learning at every step, no matter what. So whether you're meaning to teach your puppy or not, they are learning. So if I have a puppy in temperament assessments that's a little bit timid in a new situation.
Right.
Well, just being in that temperament assessment, they're in a new situation.
Right, it's new.
It's new. Right. They're learning, oh wait, this wasn't so bad, and they learn to adjust. Well, now learning did occur, which means even though they were timid in that temperament assessment, let's say Meredith and Taylor grabbed them for media. Well, they might be just a little less timid for that because
Every
they've experienced
opportunity
it.
to mature and grow is good.
And so we will see we will see it change over time because the puppies are learning.
So it reveals like energy level, confidence, sensitivity to things, social tendencies,
Yes.
like you're saying. It does all those things. So it identifies those in the moment. But that actually gives us an opportunity to say, hey, this puppy, we're going to work with this puppy. And that's why prep school is so great, because as they enter into prep school, we already know some of their tendencies. And we as breeders and trainers can work with them and say, we're going to bring them out of their shell in this area. We're going to reinforce this. And that is so good. But at the end of the day, it is part of the process. It sets the foundation for us to have a successful placement, to place them successfully with families. We lean into this so much, and so does our adoption team, and so do our clients. That's why when you go on one of our spots or list, depending on where you are, you might say, I love, pink tag girl and white tag girl, but I want to wait on the temperament test to see they're all equally beautiful. But which one's temperament at this time really seems like it matches me the best.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the thing. So a lot of times with temperament assessments, because we've been doing this a while,
long time.
a lot of our
many
puppies,
years.
many years. A lot of our puppies are very consistent. A lot of the litters will be very consistent, and that's kind of the goal as a breeder. As a breeder, we want to get consistency in those temperament assessments. But one of the other things, I know a lot of times people will ask, well, why does a puppy require prep school, or why do you have this on it? Well, sometimes in temperament assessments, we'll see something where we say, you know what, we're going to feel more comfortable with this puppy going to prep school first before it's allowed to go out to a family. We've actually had that happen where like a puppy might be very timid, and everybody who's waiting on that litter has young children at home. Okay, that's not the best placement without some prep school. And so that's something we want to be aware of.
But after prep school, it'll be fine.
Do fine.
And that's why a lot of y'all say, why does so many of your puppies go straight to prep school? Well, because we are confident that if we put the puppy through a week or 2 weeks or the first block, that we can identify things and we can set that puppy up for success. But new families, they don't always know like what I should do if the puppy exhibits this behavior or that, and we do. So that is very important. But the topic today is temperament test. So the timing, like we said, is around 7 weeks, 49 days. Now the environment when you do the temperament test is also always consistent. It's pretty much a calm environment. It's you have controlled settings in there for you to do certain observations.
Yes, so basically I use the same environment for all of the puppies. It's very easily cleaned and sanitized, and it is controlled, and it's calm when it's meant to be calm. But there's also parts of the test where I'm gonna make some super loud noises because I wanna see, number one, does the puppy respond?
Yeah.
And alert to loud noises. Do they run away scared? Do they go and check it out? Same thing, we're gonna make some startling sights because we wanna see how the puppy responds to that. Now, sometimes the puppies add energy to that room.
Yeah, and you're like,
we're doing
wow.
it, and that's okay.
And you're typing all that in. So what we're looking for is responses to new sounds, sights, and touch. We're looking for confidence versus caution in a puppy. Willingness to follow a human because, they're in a puppy litter and their family's puppies and they live with puppies and mom. And now, how do they react to humans? That's very important. Recovery from surprises and challenges.
Yes.
That's big, right?
Yeah, that's a big one because that talks to how are they going to respond when new things come their way in a household. Anybody in a house with young kids, boy, it is something new all the time. Nobody ever does anything the same way in a household with young children. And how does the puppy handle that and respond to that? It's also, what are they motivated by? How does the puppy play? So like you see, this puppy here is a little more subdued and a little low key in this situation. This guy is much more curious, much more, hey, are you drinking coffee? Can I read those notes? Oh, I want to talk on the microphone. And so that's what we talk about when we say there's some subtle differences between these individual puppies. But it's also, you see, he's using his mouth a little more to play where she isn't. And so sometimes puppies are more tactile than others are, and that's other things that we want to know.
But a family wants to know that if they've got a 18-month-old walking around dangling fingers. They want to know that.
They also want to know if they've got someone in their household that maybe is on blood thinners and their skin tears very easily. They want to know if that
Things
puppy's
like that.
using
You
the
don't
mouth all the
think
time.
about that. So we also want to see their sociability versus independence. I mean,
Yes.
you got a house full of kids, you don't want an independent puppy.
No, but
You
if
need
you
to
work
go-
all day and your puppy's got to stay home by itself for
do
8 hours a
need
day,
that.
you maybe do want a more
It
independent.
matters. So it's not a pass or fail thing, though.
It's not. It's really a test for suitability.
That's right.
All puppies are great. All owners are great, but they are all different. But thankfully, we'll find that right match.
Yeah, it's about interpreting like the subtle cues that we have seen over the years. We are experts in the field when it comes to seeing these puppies. We have temperament tested so many puppies, and we pretty much nail it. I mean, and get it right. It's cool to go back and say, let me look at that temp test and see if they were matched. Because there are families that say, I don't care what it says, and our adoption specialist might say, gosh, this really isn't the best temperament. I don't care. I want that puppy.
And
that's what I want. I want that puppy. And then whenever temperament becomes an issue,
You know who is a great example of that?
who?
Fletcher.
My Fletcher?
Your Fletcher had the
Yeah.
grumpiest temperament as a puppy.
I remember he said, and I was like, I love him. I
Yes,
love
you
him.
didn't care. It was how he looked. You adored him. But every time you picked him up, he would raw, raw, raw. But that's where training comes in.
Yeah.
And for Fletcher,
He's always in school, only because he gets on the school bus every morning. A prep school coordinator picks him up and drops him off on her way home. So
But that's an important part of the temperament assessment is if you're locked on a certain look or a certain size, it's okay, but recognize you are committing to a little more training with that puppy to get them where they need to go. The temperament assessment is all about your starting point and then where you need
That's
to
right.
build and learn from there.
yeah, and it guides it. The result of it is, bottom line, it helps, it guides us in placement recommendations too. Like, is this a great dog for a family? Is it a family companion? Would this be a potential therapy candidate or a potential service dog candidate? I mean, it gives us direction for our training strategies as well.
It does. And with that in mind, that's also something where when we talk about like a service candidate. So one of the things to be super aware of is when we talk about therapy and service candidates, when we do temperament assessments, we're looking at a puppy, and a puppy is only a puppy for less than a year.
They're just a puppy for 1 year.
So when we look at temperament assessments, we spend a lot of time talking about what is that going to grow into, because no one calls us wanting this perfect puppy for 18 years. It's not going to happen. Your puppy's not going to be a puppy for 18 years.
And they grow out of all of these things.
They do. And so you're looking for that great dog. And so a lot of times you will get a puppy that maybe isn't exactly what you're looking for, but you're not looking for a puppy. You're looking for that great match as an adult dog. And so it's going to be what they grow into. So with all
And what you put into them.
Absolutely. And so with all of this experience that we have, we've seen people who say, hey, I want a really calm, laid back adult dog to hang out with me. Well, if they get a puppy that's calm and laid back, as they grow into themselves, you end up with an adult dog who's a glorified piece of furniture and maybe now can't hang with you enough because that energy level
Some
and those
people want
needs,
that.
they do. But those energy requirements are going to change over time.
That's right.
And that's something to also keep in mind is what's this puppy going to be? We talk about maximizing genetic potential.
That's right. So testing is just one piece of the puzzle, y'all. It's just one thing. You can't hang your coat on it for the rest of your life. We combine it, like she said, with genetics, daily observation, and early socialization. Socialization is everything. What that puppy is exposed to from day 49 on is going to make the ultimate call on who that dog is going to be as an adult.
Absolutely. And then, like you said, it's also what you put into it. So whether you hire professionals, whether you use our prep school program, but also then what you put into it. Remember, the temperament assessment is the starting point. Think about it like if you input an address into your Google Maps and you have a destination in mind, you have to have a starting point or you're never going to get where
That's
you're
right.
going. And
That's
so the
right.
temperament assessment is just that. It's
And
your
it
starting
does
point.
bring peace of mind to families
It
to a
does.
degree, knowing that their puppy has been thoroughly evaluated. And I will tell you that we do thoroughly evaluate them when we do our temperament evaluation. We don't just look at the puppy's temperament, but we also look at the teeth and the body, and we look at the coat, and we look at the size of the puppy. We look if there's any health notes that you need to put, and that's always on the temperament test.
Yes, so we evaluate during the temperament, and mind you, puppies are evaluated at designated
Yes,
points.
but on that day, you're writing things
Yep,
down
specific
to make
notes.
sure that the adoption team sees this and translates that over to the
Correct.
client.
And so we'll make notes about, hey, teeth are not quite all the way in yet, or the puppy might have an underbite.
They could outgrow it.
Yeah, and we do evaluate for vision and hearing also at that point. We look for hernias at that point. So we do all of those things at that time. We're also at the temperament assessment evaluating a few other things to help you guys with placement that doesn't have to do with the temperament, but like coat types. So like these two puppies have two different coat types. So we're gonna evaluate that and let the office know. We're gonna wear clothes that will show us if there might be some shedding
And
or
we
non-shedding.
identify the amount of shedding that we see.
We do. We identify that at the temperament assessment. We also talk about size because a lot of our dogs have, like, say, a 60-pound mom and then a 30-pound dad. Well, that litter can range small as 30 up to 60, both falling in the middle. But we'll identify at that point that this puppy's trending large for the litter or trending small for the litter, so that will also help you with your size recommendations.
Well, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. I'm sure the adoption specialists are going to love being able to have this little piece of education and that they can share with all of our potential clients. But just realize this, that this process, all of our processes that we're doing, these reflect decades of expertise, and it's why Smeraglia puppies are known worldwide for being the right fit in the right homes. We get it right most of the time, but we don't get it right even 100% of the time. Nobody does. But these are tools that we use to help us match the puppies with the right families.
Absolutely. And we're here for you in the event that it's not quite right. We're still here for you.
We're gonna walk you
to
through
talk
it.
through that and to kind of get where you need to go. But yeah, so we do temperament assessments. One of my favorite parts of my day because I get to hang out and visit with babies.
All right, guys, you have a great day, and we'll be back for other educational teachings in the future. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.